That droplet, that is wealth, pure condensed potential. And you have been staring at the leaf or the ground or the sky, asking why you don't have more droplets while completely missing the truth. You've been taught a child's fairy tale. The fairy tale says wealth is a thing you grab, a number you chase, a destination you arrive at, sweating and exhausted so you can finally rest. That tale is a poison, and it has made paupers of millions with full bank accounts. Because wealth is not a noun, it is a verb. It is not a static pile, it is a dynamic flow. It obeys laws as fundamental as gravity, but you have been trying to catch it in a bucket when you should have been learning to become the riverbed. The truth about wealth, the secret that carved the legacies of the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Musks, and the untold silent giants who shaped the world from behind the curtain, is not about what you do. It is about what you become. There is one skill, one mastercraft, one deliberate alignment of your mind, your energy, and your very being that transforms you from a beggar at the stream into the architect of the watershed. This skill is not taught in business schools. It is whispered in the quiet studies of philosophers and shouted in the silent actions of empire builders. It is the great divider. It is the reason why two people can hear the same idea and one dies with it as a nice thought and the other builds a cathedral with it. The droplet of wealth does not flow to the smartest or the hardest working or even the most desperate. It flows with unerring and ruthless precision to those who have mastered the skill of value alchemy. The transmutation of perception into provision, the distillation of a problem into a solution so elegant, so necessary, that the exchange for it feels not like a cost, but like a liberation. You are not here to get rich. You are here to become so indispensably valuable that wealth has no choice but to flow in your direction, to seek you out as the path of least resistance. The treasure map is not hidden. It is engraved on every frustration, every inefficiency, every unmet need you have ever witnessed. And the skill of the value alchemist is to see not the frustration, but the gold waiting to be mined within it. You have been looking for wealth in all the wrong places. It is not in the stock ticker. It is in the sigh of the overworked mother. It is not in the real estate portfolio. It is in the loneliness of a disconnected community. It is not in the luxury car. It is in the unfulfilled potential of a human being who doesn't yet see their own power. Wealth flows to the one who can answer that sigh, bridge that loneliness, awaken that potential. And to do that, you must first undergo your own alchemy. For centuries, the seeker has been plagued by the wrong question: how do I make money? This question comes from a mindset of scarcity, of lack, of extraction. It is the question of the miner who blasts the mountain, takes the ore, and leaves a scar. The alchemist asks a different question: how can I serve at the highest possible level? This question comes from a mindset of abundance, of creation, of generation. It is the question of the gardener who enriches the soil, plants the seed, and tends the growth, knowing the harvest is a natural result. Henry Ford did not ask, "How do I become a billionaire?" He asked, "How do I free common people from the tyranny of distance and isolation?" His obsession was not with wealth, but with value, the value of mobility, of freedom, of time. The fortune was the exhaust fume of that obsession. Steve Jobs did not set out to make a killing in tech. He asked, how do we make technology intimate, intuitive, and beautiful, an extension of human creativity? The trillion-dollar valuation was a byproduct of that relentless pursuit of value. You must shift your center of gravity from your own empty pockets to the world's unmet needs. Your hunger must be for impact, not income. Because the market, that vast, intelligent flow of human energy and exchange, does not reward hunger. It rewards harvest. It pays for solutions. It invests in clarity. It wealthies those who reduce friction, amplify joy, deepen understanding, or expand possibility. Your first alchemical act is to transmute your I want into a burning specific I serve. Who, with what, to what end? Until this is crystalline, you are just another noise in the market, shouting, "Look at me!" while the alchemists are quietly listening to the whispers of the world's pain and promise. Listening, however, is only the first step. The core of value alchemy is precision of solution. The world is not paying for effort, it is paying for efficacy. It does not care about your 10-page business plan, it cares about the one click that solves a 2-hour problem. The skill is the reduction of complexity to simplicity, the distillation of chaos into a single, elegant button that says, "Fix this." Look at the giants. Google distilled the chaos of the internet's information into a blank page and a search bar. Amazon distilled the chaos of global commerce into a Buy Now button. Uber distilled the chaotic anxiety of "Will I find a cab?" into a map and an ETA. They mastered the alchemy of taking a massive, diffuse problem and crystallizing it into a pinpoint solution. This is your craft. You must become an obsessive focuser of value, not a general helper, but a specific surgeon of inefficiency. What can you do, create, or provide that takes a tangled knot of someone's time, money, or emotional energy and untangles it with stunning simplicity? This requires not just empathy, but deep study. It requires you to live in the problem space of your chosen audience until you understand its contours better than they do. You must see the problem from the inside out until the solution becomes obvious, inevitable. Edison didn't just want light, he understood the profound value of banishing night for human productivity and safety. He obsessed over the problem of darkness. Your wealth will be directly proportional to the size and urgency of the problem you solve, multiplied by the elegance of your solution. Are you tinkering with trinkets, or are you studying earthquakes? But a perfect solution, locked in your mind, is worthless. This leads to the second transmutation, the alchemy of expression into irresistible offer. Value must be communicated. It must be packaged in a language that bypasses skepticism and speaks directly to the recognized need. This is not salesmanship in the old greasy sense. This is storytelling so potent, so aligned with the truth of your solution, that it feels like a revelation, not a pitch. You are not convincing anyone to buy. You are revealing to them that they already, in their heart, want what you have, because it is the missing piece they have been feeling the shape of. You must become a master of translating features into felt benefits. Not, "This software has 256-bit encryption, but you can sleep tonight knowing your family's memories are safe from any storm." This is the language of value. It connects your creation to the deeper human desires for security, freedom, love, significance, growth. The great brands and builders understand this. Disney didn't sell cartoons, he sold happiness. Apple doesn't sell electronics, it sells tools for the creative human spirit. Your offer must be so clear, so compelling, that it makes the alternative, continuing to live with the problem, feel more expensive than your price. This is the crucible where many fail. They have value, but cannot express its worth. You must learn this language. You must be able to articulate the value of your solution in one sentence that makes the listener's spine straighten with recognition. And here we encounter the great paradox, the secret furnace of the alchemist. Wealth flows fastest to those who are indifferent to its flow. This sounds like nonsense to the hungry mind, but it is the supreme law. Desperation repels. Neediness contaminates. When your focus is on the money, you introduce a toxic element into the alchemy, the element of selfish extraction. You become a leaky vessel. The energy is wrong. The market senses it. The transaction feels transactional. But when your focus is locked, laser-like on the perfection of the value, on the depth of the service, on the beauty of the solution, something shifts. You enter a state of generative integrity. You are not trying to get, you are committed to giving at such a high level that the getting becomes automatic, an afterthought. This is the mindset of the master craftsman who forgets the clock while perfecting the joinery of a cabinet. His reward is in the seamless fit of the wood. The payment that comes is a consequence of that perfection, not its goal. This inner indifference to the reward, this focus on the work itself, is what creates a magnetic, almost gravitational pull. People are drawn to those who operate from this place of solidity, of generativity. Trust accelerates, opportunities multiply. Why? Because you have become a node of value creation, not value extraction. You are a source, not a drain. And in a universe that tends toward entropy, a source is the most powerful and attractive thing there is. Rockefeller, in his relentless drive to systematize and reduce the cost of oil, was obsessed with efficiency and scale, his value proposition. The fortune was the residue of that obsession with creating a more efficient system, not with being rich. This path demands a final, brutal alchemy, the transmutation of time. The beggar trades time for money. His wealth is linear, fragile, and ends when his energy does. The alchemist trades value for equity. He understands that the ultimate goal is not to be paid for his hours, but for his impact, for the systems, the intellectual property, the assets that continue to generate value while he sleeps. This is the leap from the artisan to the architect. The artisan bakes a perfect loaf of bread and sells it. He must bake again tomorrow. The architect designs the bakery, the recipe, the brand, the franchise system. He creates a machine that produces bread and, more importantly, produces the conditions for more bread to be made. Your aim must be to bottle your value alchemy into a form that scales, that replicates, that outlives your daily labor. This is what Andrew Carnegie did with steel production processes. It's what J.K. Rowling did with the world of Harry Potter. It's what the coder does when she writes a piece of software instead of selling her hours as a debugger. You must begin to think in terms of assets, not just activities. How can the value you create be captured in a form that can be delivered 1,000, 1,000,000 times without you personally delivering it each time? This is the skill of building capital in all its forms, not just financial, but intellectual, systemic, and brand capital. This is how you move from the economics of the ditch digger to the economics of the canal builder. One digs a hole for a wage, the other builds the channel through which wealth flows for centuries.
So, let us be brutally clear. The droplet of wealth is forming all around you. It is in the minor annoyance you dismiss. It is in the hobby you think is just for fun. It is in the knowledge you take for granted. The truth is not a secret handshake or a hidden stock tip. The truth is a call to a supreme and demanding craftsmanship. The world is not withholding riches from you. It is waiting with infinite patience for you to become rich in purpose, rich in skill, rich in your capacity to solve meaningful problems with elegant grace. It is waiting for you to stop chasing the droplet and start understanding the laws of hydrology, to stop begging at the river and start digging the canal. Your journey begins not with a business plan, but with a question that must burn in you night and day. What is the deepest, most valuable problem I am uniquely equipped to solve? Find that, live in it, master it. Distill its solution until it is a crystal of pure utility. Offer it with fearless generosity. Build it into something that lasts. Tend only to the quality of your value. And one day you will look up from your work, from the service, the craft, the solution you are so deeply immersed in, and you will find your hands are not empty. They are not even holding wealth. You will realize with a quiet shock that you are standing in it. It has risen slowly and irresistibly, like a gentle tide around the immovable rock of your value. You did not chase it, you became the destination. Now put down the bucket, pick up the architect's pen. The world is waiting for your blueprint.